How'd it go?
Mr. Jensen was unhappy at the idea of taking Howard Beale off the air. Mr. Jensen thinks Howard Beale is bringing a very important message to the American people. So he wants Howard Beale on the air, and he wants him kept on. Mr. Jensen feels we're too catastrophic in our thinking. I argued that television was a volatile industry in which success and failure were determined week by week. Mr. Jensen said he did not like volatile industries and suggested with a certain sinister silkiness that volatility in business usually reflected bad management. He didn't really care if Howard Beale was the #1 show on television or the 50th. He didn't really care if the Beale show lost money. He wants Howard Beale on the air, and he wants him kept on. I would describe his position on this as inflexible. Where does that put us, Diana?
That puts us in the shithouse. That's where that puts us. Do you want me to go through this?
Yes.
Okay, the Beale show Q score is down to 33. Most of this loss occurred in the child and teen and 1834 categories, which were our key core markets. It is the AR department's carefully considered judgment and mine that if we get rid of Beale, we should be able to maintain a very respectable share in the high 20s, possibly 30, with a comparable Q level. The other segments of the show, Sybil the Soothsayer, Jim Webbing, the Vox Populi, have all developed their own audiences. Our AR report showed that it is Howard Beale that is the destructive force here. Minimally, we're talking about a 10-point differential in shares. I think Joe ought to spell it out for us. Joe?
28 shares, $80,000 minutes. And I think we can sell complete positions on the whole. As a matter of fact, we're just getting into the pre-Christmas gift sellers. And I'll tell you, the agencies are coming back to me with $4 CPMs. Now, that's an indication we're talking $45 million loss in annual revenues.
You guys want to hear all the flack I'm getting from the affiliates?
We know all about it, Herb.
You would describe Mr. Jensen's position on Beale as inflexible?
Intractable and adamantine.
So what do we do about this Beale son of a bitch?
Suppose we'll have to kill him. I don't suppose you have any ideas on that, Diana.
Well, what would you fellas say to an assassination? I think I can get the Mao Zedong people to kill Beale for us. It's one of their shows. In fact, it'll make a hell of a kickoff show for the season. We're facing heavy opposition on the other networks for Wednesday nights, and the Mao Zedong Hour could use a sensational opener. It could be done right on camera, in the studio. We ought to get a fantastic look-in audience with the assassination of Howard Beale as our opening show.
Well, if Beale dies, what would our continuing obligation to the Beale Corporation be? I know our contract with Beale contains a buyout clause triggered by his death or incapacity.
There must be a formula for the computation of the purchase price.
Offhand, I think it was based on a multiple of 1975 earnings with the base period in 1975. I think it was 50% of salary plus 25% of the first year's profit, multiplied by the unexpired portion of the contract. I don't think the show has any substantial syndication value, would you say, Diana?
Syndication profits are minimal.
We're talking about a capital crime here. The network can't be implicated.
I hope you don't have any hidden tape machines in this office, Frank.
Well, the issue is, shall we kill Howard Beale or not? I'd like to hear some more opinions on that.
Look, I don't see we have any option, Frank. Let's kill the son of a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. How do you feel?
We're mad as hell, and we're not going
Ladies and gentlemen, the Network News Hour with Sybil the Soothsayer. Jim Webbing and his It's the Emma's Truth Department. Miss Matahari and her Skeletons in the Closet. Tonight, another segment of Vox Populi. And starring the mad prophet of the airways, Howard Beale.
Network news anchorman on the UBS Network News Show, known to millions as the mad prophet of the airwaves, was shot to death tonight in a fusillade of automatic rifle fire just as he began this evening's broadcast.
We never compromise. So why should you? Canada Dry Mixers. Why compromise?
Have you seen the other side of where you live? Man of well over 6 feet carrying an automatic weapon.
Don't you know that this great big lion has got so much to
I'm not going to try. Coming in with the studio audience.
Mother Country's got her arms open wide.
The extraordinary incident occurred in full view of his millions of viewers. The assassins were members of a terrorist group called the Ecumenical Liberation Army. 2 of whom were apprehended. The leader of the group, known as the Great Ahmed Khan, escaped.
This was the story of Howard Beale, the first known instance of a man who was killed because he had lousy ratings.
Police spokesman says there were reports of a Great Ahmed Khan in Pennsylvania. Great Ahmed Khan, a massive man, well over 6 feet, carrying an automatic weapon.